Look, I think this is a very, very exciting matchup. You have two of the biggest freaks when it comes to batting in Jos Buttler and Surya Kumar Yadav, right?
Hello everyone, we are in Adelaide and we are being joined by a very special guest, Melinda Farrell. She is a freelancer and maybe someday I expect her to be here in the Hall of Fame.
No, there are no women. If you go and look at the pictures down here, you'll see there are no women.
You will be the trendsetter. You will be the first female person. I expect the kind of work you have been doing. I'm really impressed, Melinda.
Wow, no, I don't think I'm Hall of Fame. Maybe
20 years down the line.
Well, hopefully I will still be here and still working. I think I'd like to be in the Hall of Infamy. That's where I belong, the Hall of Infamy.
Okay, so we are normally on Cricket Adda, we try to get a perspective from the neutral guest or someone from the opposite team. I can tell that you are a neutral guest. India playing against England semi-final, and here an Australian journalist is speaking about that game. So the first thing, just purely from a neutral perspective, how do you look at this game building up?
Well, I do have to confess something. If I'm being very honest, I do actually have a British passport. So keep that. I'm a dual citizen. But do you know what? I'm very fortunate because I've worked at an organisation like Cricinfo where if you wrote something about England, it might be subbed by someone who's Indian. So there was basically, it made it very difficult even if you wanted to be biased. So look, I think this is a very, very exciting matchup. You have two of the biggest freaks when it comes to batting in Jos Buttler and Surya Kumar Yadav, right? So it's a good pitch here, I think. There might be quite a lot of runs in it. A few, maybe a couple of injury concerns for England. I don't know that will make too much difference, but it's just really hard. It's almost impossible to pick, I think. England have been pace setters in this format for a long time, but then when you look at some of the firepower that India have and the games that they've won in this tournament, you can't write them off. So who knows?
But since you just touched the topic of Surya Kumar Yadav, a team where you have the legends like Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, and then you suddenly see Surya Kumar Yadav, sky's the guy. He's intimidating the opposition. How much that has come as a shocking or surprise, or you were expecting I
think we've seen what he can do in the past couple of years. It's just come off really big time in this tournament. I mean, that shot he played, outside off stump, falling over his shoulder, is one of the most incredible shots that I've ever seen. I still reckon Virat Kohli off Haris Rauf was better because I just love that shot. But he's playing that, and all I could think was, if you're a bowler, where do you bowl to him? I guess all you can do, maybe take pace off and try and make him generate his own power. But the thing about him is he could do that as well. And I think that it is the same way that I think when I watch Jos Buttler at his best as well, because when he's playing the range of shots that he can, you just feel sorry for the bowlers, right? Because it becomes this really difficult thing of where do you bowl to him? And once you do that, and can get bowlers second-guessing themselves and just trying to work out what to do, then quite often in the case of someone like Surya Kumar Yadav, you've won half the battle, haven't you?
Yeah. And you have seen Virat Kohli. Obviously, Virat Kohli had a different kind of aura on Australian ground, the kind of respect he gets. And before this tournament, there were question marks. People were saying that he doesn't deserve to be in that team. Obviously, those were the laughable suggestions. But the way Virat has come out in this tournament, do you think that this is going to be the match against England, a big team, semi-final?
Well, it's certainly set up, isn't it? It's set up perfectly. I think what's impressed me about Virat in this tournament is he is like a Ferrari, smoothly changing up through the gears, right? And he's been able to do that so well. And sometimes players like him or a Kane Williamson or a Steve Smith, they cop flack in T20 cricket because everybody, thinks that you should be up there from the start with a 180 strike rate. But we've seen in this tournament some of those innings have been incredibly important that have started a bit slower. So that, for me, the way he's done that has been incredible, particularly in that game against Pakistan. So he does love it here. Australian audiences love him as well.
So that is what I was just coming back to you, as you just spoke about the conditions. The conditions is playing a very crucial role, and we have seen that in the press conference. Rahul Dravid or Virat Kohli or anyone who Ashwin, they have spoken about skill being an important factor, which many times in T20 cricket we say we come slam bang approach or something like that. So in that sense, how important is for someone like Rohit Sharma? But he hasn't played like Rohit Sharma, we know.
Yeah, look, that can happen too in a tournament that's so quick and where the games come so thick and fast. If you're not in that sort of rhythm or form from the start, it can be hard sometimes to find that in the middle of a tournament. But then also sometimes it just suddenly clicks, doesn't it? So again, Rohit is a player who has performed in India for India on the big stage in so many occasions. We've seen things with captains as well being important for more reasons than just their batting as well.
Yeah, that's a very significant point you just pointed out.
Right, yeah. So Australia with Aaron Finch, you've seen Kane Williamson, and for India you saw Owen Morgan with England last year. So there's still massive importance in how the captain runs the team, and I expect that Rohit will show his importance in that aspect of the game here.
My final two questions, Melinda, before I let you go. India, we know where during Mahendra Singh Dhoni's time, there used to be an intimidating aura, especially in a big ICC tournament. You knew that knockout game, the calming presence of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, all his boys. Somehow in last 6-7 years, India has made it to, the last 4 is not a big task. But that aura is missing, the intimidating aura of an Indian team in a big ICC knockout tournament.
I don't know. I reckon I find Surya Kumar Yadav really intimidating, man. I'm intimidated by Mohammed.
And Aussie getting intimidated by an Indian, that was something really new for us.
I wouldn't want to get on his wrong side, but even like someone like Bhuvi or Shami, I still think that they have quite an aura sort of around them. I don't know. I think they've still got an aura, but who has a bigger aura? Because England, they do have an intimidating aura as well, but not everything has gone their way. Like in the past summer, we saw them lose series to India and to South Africa as well in white ball cricket. New Zealand, well, are they too nice to be intimidated? It's ridiculous, isn't it? Because they are an intimidating side. Pakistan, you just never know where they're going to come from and what they're going to do. So, I think all 4 sides left in this tournament are intimidating in their own way.
My final question, Melinda, and this is a fan-go question for you. Like, you have been a big fan of Rishabh Pant since you have seen him from early days. Are you really surprised that India has not been able to find a place for Rishabh Pant regularly? He played in the last match. Do you expect him to be the part of the team? Because obviously his left-hand skill and the explosive nature of batting.
I'd pick him. There you go. I would pick him. Yeah, he's someone that I would pick, and that's no disrespect to DK either. But in this sort of tournament where that sort of middle lower order, you want that push of runs. I would, and he didn't really get to show what he could do in that match when he did come on and play in that last match. But yeah, I would pick him just on what he can do, how explosive he can be. And he loves batting here in Australia. We know that.
Thanks, Melinda. Really appreciate your time. And that's all we have from Adelaide. Thank you so much for watching.